I guess this is where we do the conversation, eh? I don't believe we've been introduced. How do you do? I'm Michael Gallagher. I don't expect I've been correct in assuming that you're about to question me in an intensive manner.
Indeed, Michael is it? Well, well, it's good to meet you. How'd you like the decor for our little chat then? I call this the minimalist look. Less to look after. Much easier to clean. Should there be any, how shall I put this? Physical exacerbation, that sort of thing. Oh, wait. Where are my manners? Please, do take a seat, Mr. Gallagher. Make yourself comfortable, do. That's it. Sit down. Take the weight off, why don't you? Oh, wait. Introduction's incomplete. We can't be having that now, can we? Let me introduce myself. I am Detective Sergeant John Pearce, Oldbeg Police Station, Leeds, Yorkshire CID. So, now, pleasantry's almost over. How are you feeling, Mr. Gallagher? All right? How's your head?
Better. Much better. Thank you for asking.
Good! Good! Now, I've got a bag here. Some things I'd like to show you later. Oh, Mr. Gallagher, are you a man of faith? By that, I mean, have you undertaken any counselling? Have you talked to a priest, a rabbi, a minister or out like that?
No. I haven't been undertaking counselling. Nor have I chatted with anyone like that. However, my doctor says that I may have a stress-related condition.
Ah, stress. Newfangled way of describing acute knackeredness. I get that quite a lot in this line of work. My back's... Don't have, give me some grief, it does. Enough about your Charlie's ailments. So your doctor, that's what he said.
She said.
She said. So that's how this is going, is it? You're contradicting me already. This encounter may prove to be quite stimulating. Well, did she advise you on any counselling?
She told me to take away...
prescribe you any medicine? Are you going to see a psychiatrist or anyone like that? Do you have any other form of mental illness? Depression?
No.
Off your chump. Mentally deranged.
What is
any
this?
Of that stuff?
Is this some kind of judicial investigative preamble? Prior to you taking a taxi, followed by a connecting flight to actually get to the point.
In due course. So, to the date in question. Monday, 14th April, 1979. Where are you from 5 PM on that date?
Let's see. Oh, yes, it was a colleague's birthday. We went for a steak at the Burney Inn on the High Street. I didn't drink, I was driving. Before the tedium of inevitability leads you, predictably, to question me on that very subject.
Well, at the risk of being tedious, what is your tipple of choice?
My libation of regularity is pint of Watney's Red Barrel, if you simply must know. And again, I repeat, ad nauseam, none of said alcoholic beverage passed my lips on that occasion.
So, today's Sunday, right? Religious faith. What are you?
Catholic. I'm a Catholic. If indeed it bears even the remotest connection towards anything superficially resembling your business.
Roman Catholic!
Indeed. And what pray of it? Would you
Baptised?
like my verbose allusion there to the ecumenical theme?
Were you baptised?
Affirmative. As it happens, yes.
Did you take your first communion?
I certainly did.
Have you missed Mass recently? Been to confession lately?
Well, as a matter of passing interest, I did. Regrettably miss Mass today, actually. The result of my being detained here. Much against my personal choice, I might add.
Oh, now. Bad, apparently. See, that's not good. Bad fire! Well, that, my dear Mr. Gallagher, is a mortal sin. Not at all a pleasant proposition in the eyes of our Maker, the Almighty. See, the reason I ask is, I have to know how you're doing up here. Okay? See, missing Mass and not confessing, well, should you inadvertently happen to snuff it, so to speak, before having had a chance to unload and gain contrition to and from the priest of your choice, well, it kind of adds an indelible stain in your soul. Apparently. It needs to get burned off to get rid of it. See, there's a kind of sell-by date thing there. If you don't get your father priesty man or whatever in time, like, well, you don't get the automatic deletion. You're stuck with it. Understand? Guess you'd know that.
Well, you live and learn.
Us busies around you that way. Care the community, so to speak. But you will have to get that bad mortal sin burned off. I could do that for you if you like. If you cooperate with me. You see, I am a hotline to redemption! Open doors! But, cut out the middleman. You confess to me, I clean up your soul, and Bob's your uncle.
You're quite clearly deranged. This is utterly ridiculous.
So, stunning to the day in question, Monday 14th April 1979. We then have the other matter. Staying in your soul. The small matter of Paul Levy Phillips, the young laddie. Now, usually, taking a life bears a lot of stuff with it. I've been around others that have been through it. And that is first and foremost. See, the responsibility behind all this is probably much more than you'd ever imagine. Yeah, what happened is, see, you allegedly saw someone whom you may have thought were doing something wrong.
He was. I explained this earlier at the front desk.
And that's someone with a young lad.
If you like.
Could you explain to me exactly what happened that night? In your own words, this young lad, you reckon, was doing something bad.
He was looking really dodgy. Cagey-like. Suspicious. Creeping about. Furtive. You know, you have to deal with that sort of thing, don't you? You know, civic duty and all that.
Are you asking me or telling me?
I am merely making what I would deem to be a highly appropriate request for your agreement in the affirmative to my question.
I, as in me. Will I ask the fucking questions? You! Answer them! Got it? Understand? Do you comprehend? Alden Levy Phillips. You were born in 1965, February the 5th. You were 14 years old. Well-loved child. Someone who were going to grow up, be happy, leave school, go to university most likely, be in aerodynamics, finance, whatever. Kid with a family that cared. Kid with a future. In his mid-20s, oh, he'd met a fine young woman. They fall in love. And in his possession, we found one squashed plastic bottle of apple juice, an opened packet of Polo mints, and a solitary £1 note.
Probably stole even that.
Excuse me. Do you have any actual prior training in law enforcement? I mean, anything at all? Any kind of...
Just what I pick up from
structure?
television.
Television? Just the fucking telly? Well... Right, you saw the deceased, you saw what happened. Tell me what you saw.
I was driving home from the Burnley Inn.
Time, tell me the time.
I've no idea what time it is. I don't have my watch. Them out there, they took it from me.
Not the time now! Then!
All right. I don't know. Maybe 8:30 in the evening.
What were you wearing?
Me? Well, I always like to look smart, and we went out to eat straight from work. So as far as my memory serves, dark blue trousers, a white shirt, I'd taken my tie off by then, a blue v-neck, cashmere of course, smart casual shoes, black, that realm of rig out. As I say, I do my best. One has to.
Well, this lad had on a light blue anorak. It was dark. But he was wearing fawn-coloured slacks and brown shoes. Not exactly a brown suspect type garb. Now, I listened to the phone call that you made to the emergency line, and you sounded... You tell me what was going through your head at the time.
Well, I'd seen him, this chap, looking in the window of the house that he was in front of. And I knew whose place that was, who lived there.
Right. Were he white or black?
Black.
Okay.
And the fellow who lives there, we were acquainted. I'd met him. He plays darts in the Red Lion, and he's white.
Okay.
The one you mentioned. This suspicious-looking individual. Went up to the house. Walked up to the house. He was drinking from a plastic bottle. He turned round, and a stray dog passed and stopped, and he patted its head. Then he drank some more from this bottle, and then he leaned up against the wall, pretending to give the impression that he lived there. And so I drove past him and stopped. I called 999, and they said to wait. Then the police pulled up beside me and asked me if I could see where he went, if he'd gone inside the house. But I told them I didn't know, as I'd been parked there since the call. They got out on foot, so to speak, and looked about a bit to see if he was still loitering. But he disappeared. So they told me to move on, as they'd got nothing really to go on. And they drove off. I left the vicinity, slowly, in the opposite direction to them.
Okay.
And then suddenly, I saw him again. He was at the end of the row of houses, at the side of one, looking in the window. He spat something out of his mouth. And then he spotted me. And then he ran around the back. So that was it. He ran around the back of the building, completely out of view. And I stayed in front of the house where the streetlight was. And I waited. And I waited. And I waited. And then the police came back, but they just drove straight past me. So I got out to check what was happening. I walked around the back where he'd gone. And I saw a window that was wide open. I just thought, something's not right here. The whole thing was looking extremely suspicious.
Okay. So, what did you see this person doing that looked to you as being suspicious?
I just told you. He was doing some kind of reconnaissance of the houses to rob them. It's obvious. He was looking at the houses intently, and then...
What?
And then he suddenly reappeared, coming out of the window of another house. He didn't see me, but he looked so nonplussed and unconcerned. And well, it was raining quite hard, you know, a really torrential downpour. And I remember thinking, he's not walking briskly as anyone would to get out of the rain. He wasn't, he didn't look like a roadrunner or anything. You know, one of those black nignogs. You know, one of the ones that's active in, like, trains in the rain. He was walking slowly on the grass and on the pavement. I just thought, something is not right here.
Wow. You know, you're going to come under a lot of scrutiny over this, you know, the whole profiling aspect of the whole thing. Now, had this person been white, would you have felt the same way?
Yeah, probably.
You hesitated. See, now, I have to ask you that. See, this youngster had absolutely no criminal record whatsoever. Even a good kid. A mild-mannered lad. part of what I've been doing these last couple of days, trying to get some sort of idea about him, what he might have been up to. A profiling sort of thing, you know. Finding out what his likes are, where, dislikes, hobbies, all the rest of that stuff. And one of his hobbies happened to be filming things. And he has, he had, a little Kodak camera. Super 8, you know. Quite impressive. Well, our lad boys, we retrieved the thing, seeing the lad boys, that's the chaps with the white coats, and umpteen pens and breast pockets. Well, they are presently developing the film. Because we have experts here. Experienced technicians. They are good at working on stuff like that. So, Mr. Gallagher, there is a very strong possibility that whatever went on between you and him is on there. And see, this is going to be the only conversation between me and you. I personally am not going to talk to you anymore after this. Do you understand what I'm saying? We have it. We have the Super 8 film the young lad recorded on his camera.
So you've said.
So there's a very strong possibility then that whatever is on there is either going to help you or, you know, not help you. That's why I've got to clarify a few things about what actually happened out there. How tall are you?
Me?
What's your weight?
I'm not too sure. I expect circa 5'9" or 10. I'm not exactly clear about my weight, it goes up and down.
Well, young Master Phillips, you're about 5'6". Very slim build for a lad his age. That's it, take a look. Oh, that's taken obviously before the gunshots. The gunshots coming through his face and heart. Skinny kid. Obviously, a lot of questions have been brought up. He were unarmed. Nothing that could be construed as a weapon. So, if there is anything that you haven't said, that might be clear or not so clear on that piece of film. Like I said, it's not a guarantee. It's a very strong possibility.
What on earth else could I add to what I've already explained? And quite exhaustively, I must say.
Right. Let's talk about the punches you claim to have received. As far as 25 and 30 punches are concerned, well, I've consulted with the experts in this field, and that's not quite consistent with the injuries you claim to have received.
Suffered might be a more accurate word, Detective Sergeant.
Oh, I'm sorry. Suffered. Now your head. How did you manage to bang it? Or according to your recollection, how did he manage to bang your head? What I assume with a road or pavement. I'm curious. How did a young lad of physical proportions substantially inferior to your own do that? Just how did he do that? Explain that to me.
I was on my back. The black bastard punched me. I don't know if I fell down or if he threw me down. It was a shock, a surprise, a fucking sore one. I was stumbling, I ended up on my back.
Okay.
And then he jumped on top of me.
Mm-hmm.
And then he kept punching me. And then when I started yelling for help, that's when he grabbed my head and started to slam it into the ground.
Grabbed your head by the ears?
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
Every time he punched me. Fucking hell.
Okay, so he punched you a couple of times. How many times did he punch you?
I don't know. I honestly don't remember.
And you didn't get a chance to punch him back.
It was over so quickly, so no.
Well, why is there no bruising in your body at all?
They cleared up.
What? Cleared up? Magic healing! Wonderful. The art of medical illusion. No black eyes, no cut nose, no bruised face, no broken ribs, no fractured limbs. None of that.
No. So what? Look, my doctor says that I sprained my ankle slightly. I did have a big bruise, like a real deep bruise, but I'm better now.
You see his face the night this happened?
Pardon?
Well, did you see his face like this the night it happened?
No.
That's him again. Have a look. He's young, 14. I'm showing you these because you're going to have to deal with this in court and under oath and under some very, very serious pressure. That's just the way these things happen. The prosecution, well, they're going to have a hell of a lot of questions, obviously. I want to prepare you for that. Like I said, I'm basically out of it after this. I don't mean to torture you with this, but you are going to have to talk to me about the situation, honestly, before it goes anywhere else. Okay?
This whole scenario is beyond ludicrous! Look, there is me, a responsible member of society, looking out for the safety and welfare of other decent white people, and some lackey, some ruffian, some disgusting negroid foul-smelling spawn of incest, stick insect immigrant oink, swans around, breaking into the homes of the hard-working, respectable white people. And added to that, he, him, that, has the effrontery to assault me. And here I am being the victim of a trumped-up inquisition because Police Detective Sergeant Pearce. That is what this looks like to me. It's outrageous.
Oh, Mr. Gallagher. Mr. Gallagher. There you are, see? In the old days, till quite recently, we'd have been calling the victim a gollywog, banjo lips, chain dragger, or a cocoa puff. But not now, no. The times they are a-changing. With regard to our poor friend there, the late young Baldwin Levy Phillips, we will all need to learn to be more considerate.
Considerate? This is staggering. You know, I do appreciate how tough it must be to be a Rosa in these new times.
And the people who regarded the black race as mere underlings will now have to dance to the tune of our more powerful PM. A woman, no less. The erstwhile Mrs. Margaret Thatcher. Although she is very much on the side of us here in the police, we still have a hell of a lot of humdrum little things that can be offences nowadays. More and more for your average copper to remember. My own view is we should chuck out all the old, useless, outdated things and keep the overall total down.
To make life easier. For you poor, overworked and underpaid law enforcement officers, I expect.
Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. See, maintaining law and order, it don't come easy. And it has its faults. The need to be remembering, dealing with and prosecuting all the laws of the land against nefarious ne'er-do-wells like certain people I can mention at this juncture. For example, it makes it very difficult to know which procedure to follow should I happen to witness in a busy town thoroughfare a fully armoured Knight of the Realm Crusader and a white charger chopping the head off a dragon. But by and large, it's a sensible policy.
I am well aware of this, DS Pearce. I am a graduate of hierarchical legislation.
You lot, Joe Public, you moan and whine and whimper about police bullying and harassment, but by Christ, we can have you bang to rights any day of the week for a galaxy of misdemeanors, sunshine. Do you know there is still a law in the statute books put there by old King Henry in the 16th century to the effect that every able-bodied man, i.e. over the age of 12, has to carry out archery practice on Sundays. Not to do so, it is an offence. So, Mr. Gallagher, what have you been doing today?
As you well know, I've been lying on a ridiculously Neanderthal, 1-inch thick, disgusting excuse for a mattress. On a concrete floor, in a hideously filthy cell, all night and all morning. Until you graciously invited me in here.
That notwithstanding, I can arrest you right now for not doing your archery, Michael!
Are you serious?
We're all King Henry V's fault. We're all he's doing.
Henry VIII, actually.
Okay, smart ass. Anyway, he passed a law by royal decree that every man over the age of 12 had to do an hour's archery practice every Sunday morning, and that law has never been repealed.
And your point is?
My point is, if I ever catch you with a bow and a bunch of arrows of Thom's dead meadows on a Sunday morning, I'll do you! Offensive weapons.
Aren't we moving somewhat off the point here, Mr. Pearce? You don't mind me calling you that, do you? Mr. Pearce, Detective Sergeant of the Criminal Investigation Department, Yorkshire Constabulary Force, with the emphasis on the 12th word.
All right then. Back to the youngster, Paul Levy Phillips. What could be more natural in the world? Consider the pressures he was under, the miseries of his wretched life, and the very bottom rung of life's ladder. For the likes of him to violate our laws of trespass, just to improve his material worth and wealth, we must try harder to understand the trials and tribulations of the poor chap. The affliction he had with that dark, dark skin of his, See, I think the sands are shifting. Is it right to be offended by a human being simply because his outer flesh is of a different tone to our own beige pallor?
But they're all dull scroungers. I'm sick of them pleading for civil liberties. They should be given one-way tickets home, all of them. And they can take the fetid bananas, Caribbean rice and cotton mountains with them.
So, I take it young Master Phillips didn't offer you any form of aesthetic pleasure upon seeing him. Well, Mr. Gallagher, you're brought up a highly complex fucking scenario, and you shall in return receive a highly complex fucking response. What would you do if your King of Kings of Catholicism, by that I mean the chap in the Vatican, was to be anointed as Pope Delroy of Shoreditch? In other words, John Michael, he was as black as the ace of spades. A veritable coconut.
You mean in essence, a piccaninny pontiff? Now you're just being preposterous.
Now let's return to the night in question. Your alleged injuries following on from your altercation with the sadly now deceased. And that, allied to your remarks about the aforementioned, the court of public opinion, i.e. the press, the likes of the Yorkshire Evening Post and the News of the World. Well, not to put too fine a point on it, young man, they are going to lap this up. They're going to go fucking gaga on this with you. You taking this in? Well, see, I don't think your alleged injuries are even remotely consistent with being in a life-threatening situation. And that is not just a matter of perception. So, if there is anything that you have not said, you have forgotten, or judiciously avoided mentioning, say so now. Now I heard you say you were yelling for help. I presume by that you meant that there was no doubt in your mind that you were in fear of your life. Well, where the big question comes into play here is this, i.e., what enraged him so badly? Could it possibly be that maybe he felt he were being taunted by you? See, I got an anonymous phone call from someone who gave us an entirely different version of events. They stated categorically that you provoked young Wilson.
Not true.
In effect, that you were goading him. You were yelling insults at him, and this story of yours of him skulking around were not the case at all. He was simply walking home. Whatever that person saw may very well change things. Then all of a sudden you're looking at something you never dreamt you'd be looking at. You understand? You see, this scenario, this thing here, you see, it's a good cop, bad cop type thing. You'll understand that. You watch the telly. See, Mr. Gallagher, I have a colleague, McIntyre. And my colleague, Mr. McIntyre, he's from Glasgow. And you know what that means? And my colleague said, Mr. McIntyre, he's one hell of a lot less benign than I am. And he's out there. Just the other side of that door he is. And he is busting a gut to come in here and take over from me. And I would not wish to be the person seated in your chair should that happen. You understand? So, the only thing you can do now is tell me the truth about what actually happened. Right? So, are you still working under the assumption, you know, that you were a perfectly private citizen defending yourself?
Yes.
Oh. You had a card on your person when you were arrested? Here is Mr. Michael Gallagher, membership number 1666 of the NSAP. Tell me what that is.
It's just a group of friends.
Friends of what? Tell me what that acronym stands for.
Just friends. A club, sort of.
NSAP! Tell me what that is!
Just, we meet. We actually met that night in the Burnley Inn. That's where we meet.
So we're at a colleague's birthday party?
No.
So you've been lying to me?
No, not quite. Not really.
Well, don't piss me about, sunshine! I am not a naive, undereducated fucking idiot! You and your colleagues, you're with the National Socialist Action Party, an offshoot of the National Front. Do you have any problems with black people?
No.
I'll ask you again. Do you have any problems with black people? I mean anybody. Anyone who isn't Anglo-Saxon, white, Caucasian. Ah, well, I've done your background, sunshine. And I've seen things you've done. Where I'm gravitating to here is this. What exactly did you say to a young black kid? Paul Levy Phillips? Considering that in your fascist manifesto, all supposed ethnic minorities are an affront to your sensibilities.
I don't remember exactly.
You don't remember? Well, I can hazard a pretty accurate fucking guess! Swastika boy! Something you uttered at volume, no doubt, which got him so enraged. He reacted with force. I'm telling you right now, the kid had no violent background. No violent tendencies that we could find. So what made him snap? They weren't on drugs. So could you fill in that blank?
The thing was, when he walked up to my car, he reached inside his pocket and he held his hand there.
Tell me the truth! Tell it to me!
I couldn't see too clearly. It was raining.
How close to your car did he get?
Maybe a car length.
Set him off!
I don't know.
Did you call him a coon? A darky? A ghetto monkey? What am I putting words in your mouth? Or did you just call him a naughty bad boy? I don't think so. No, he does not fit, he did not. He does not fit the profile what you alleged occurred. So once again, when he walked up to your car, what exactly did you say to him?
I didn't confront him. He seemed...
Good, because you were afraid of it!
No.
That's it, isn't it? You're all tougher than tough, you lot. You're in the head. Colluding and snarling over a seed of what in these red fucking barrels in the Bernie fucking inn. Pack mentality. On your own. On your Todd. It's a different scenario. So you shouted summit. He beat you to your car quicker than you expected. And you shit yourself, eh? Did he pick up? Pick it up. And you'll do it like this. His black, festering face up against his spluttering, obnoxious, stinking saliva splashing over you. Eh? Him holding you down. Holding you hate, loathe and despise. Eh? Making you sick. Sick to your stomach! Eh? How dare he! All that vile, bile and anger! Eh? What did you say? Tell me!
I called him a dirty monkey, fat gimpy bastard, coconut nigger! And to fuck off, back up his mother, shitty cunt!
Then what?
He did just that. He let go, releasing his grasp. I had a gun. An empty hardball semi-automatic pistol. I grabbed it from my belt. I was raging. I shot him again, in the face, and in the heart, and in the chest. Then I grabbed a metal dustbin and smashed it right into him. And then I tried to hit myself with it, but I just couldn't do it.
And you felt better after that, didn't you, yes?
No! When he had pressure over my nose and mouth, he was nearly suffocating me. Then when he let go and pulled back, he said, "You're scum." That's when I grabbed my gun and fired.
What'd you do with the gun?
I buried it at Langwald Cemetery.
Right. We'll deal with that later. I need a drink of water. Do you want something? Use the bathroom or anything?
No.
McIntyre! He's all yours!